This is Wednesday, August 5th, meeting of the Berlin Personnel Committee. As a preliminary matter, please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you. Take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. This is Claire Pond, Chair of the Personnel Committee. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on our agenda are present and can hear me prior to me calling the meeting to order. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Tom Bradley.
Affirmative.
Okay. Susan Terrian.
I'm here.
Staff. Margaret Nardowitz.
I'm here.
And we don't have any anticipated speakers. So with a quorum of the board present, I call this meeting to order at 6:33 p.m. on Wednesday, August 5th. Okay. So there's that. And on the agenda, the first thing on the agenda was the minutes. The only thing I noticed in the minutes that I forgot to put in there was that that Margaret, the town administrator, was going to talk with Chief Galvin about the questions that we had, which she did and got back to us. Is it okay? I will put something else in there about that. I forgot to put that in. I put in that we had these questions, but I didn't put in that Margaret was going to look into them for us.
And I had one correction. I don't know if you got it. I just noticed it at the end of the day.
Okay.
One of the last points on new business.
Yep.
You said that Margaret was talking about, working with us on goals. And she's working with the Board of Selectmen on goals.
Oh, okay.
There was just one of the goals that could include us.
Okay. And that was the education and training? Okay. Well, let me revise those and get them back to the committee. Thank you for taking a look at them.
Because there's nothing on those that June needs, correct, Margaret? So we could take another week. We didn't vote on it.
June got the minutes right from the posting. I think the posting online or whatever, wherever you put it. So she should be all set with that.
Yeah, when we approved those, the finances, I think. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So the next thing on the agenda is PAS. And I think we had Jean Cowell. And no, I thought we had approved the Welch one before.
The Welch one that you approved was the resignation. This one is the part-time officer. So we had to do a kind of a clean break because he went from benefited to none.
Okay.
And Jean Cowell, she's still going through the pre-employment process. So I don't have hers signed off yet, but if the personnel committee can meet on the 12th, we'll likely have it all ready for you that night.
Okay. Okay. The next item was position reviews and advertising. And do we have anything on that?
No position reviews or advertising from me. But do you want to act on the Thomas Welch part-time officer personnel action form?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay. So with given the information that we have, last time it was to approve Tom resigning his full-time position, and this PAF is to move him to a part-time position. And given that information, I'd like to make a motion that we approve that PAF.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion?
No.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Sutarian, aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. And then the next thing was, now, on the paramedic piece, Margaret, your thoughts on that? I know he brought to our attention, Chief Clark, the per diem paramedic. And I wasn't sure if we should take a look at that. Has that gone to the Board of Selectmen? Have they talked about the, I did put in the minutes of the week before last, or no, it was last week's meeting, that, you know, there was still some things that, you know, recurring revenue has to happen,
Oh,
that
yeah,
all these things. And so based on that, I'm thinking that we should hold off approving that.
yes, we have a lot more study to do. This is not something we can dive into at all. We have to do cost benefit analyses. We have to do all kinds of staffing scenarios. There's a lot more work to be done on it. Chief is moving forward with it, and that's great. And he's given the board reports, but all in due time. And not only that, so the position itself, we do not have he provided the job description, right?
Yep.
Maybe that's something that we could ask Sandy for while she's still working for us, because she's going to be able to provide us job descriptions for all different positions. So maybe she could actually provide that as well, and we could look at that one.
And a salary range too.
And a salary range too, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good, all right. So there's no action on that part-time paramedic position or per diem paramedic position as yet. Any other position approvals that you want to bring to our attention, Margaret?
No, not at the moment. Nope.
Okay.
Margaret, can I ask about the cemetery worker at this, you know?
Oh, yes, there'll be a personnel action form coming. Oh, I'm sorry. George Pendergast passed away, and he was our superintendent. So there is a personnel action form being processed for that. The other cemetery worker thing we are working on. Sue, what's your question on that?
I just wanted to know the status. I'm sure that's, I haven't talked to her, I don't know, but I'm sure by the sounds of what you're saying, June's probably not finding this real easy to deal with if his contract as a vendor is up.
So he doesn't, so there are a lot of things that are in play here. First of all, there is no contract as a vendor. Secondly, there is no independent workers' comp coverage. So that is one of the big pieces. We have to look at employment status. You know, any vendor that works for us should have a W-9. It should have their own insurance coverage, right? So that is one of the key reasons we need to be working on this. So we have a few things going on with cemeteries. So we're trying to tread lightly but move forward.
Right. HR consultant update, Margaret, you were going to bring that up.
Yes. So well, as you know, I talked to Sandy yesterday. Tom, did you happen to see the email I sent? I talked to Sandy yesterday. She's available next Wednesday at 6:30, and she could meet with the personnel committee jointly with the board to go over her draft data, her draft comp plan. Are you available?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. So
Yes.
Good.
Good. All right. So she, initially she was like, well, I don't usually show the draft data, but this is going to be an opportunity for the board and personnel committee to ask any questions, make comments, and she can tweak the reports based on the feedback that she gets. So we'll post the meeting. The meeting will need to be posted for next Wednesday night at 6:30. The board is actually going to meet at 6:15 because they have a couple of little business items they need to take care of, and then you can just join the meeting at 6:30. So
okay.
We'll do a Zoom link for that, and I'll confirm with Sandy tomorrow now that I know that everyone can attend. So that's the update I have on the HR consultant tonight.
Will we get the draft ahead of time so we can just review it before we sit down with her?
She's actually, she would like to show it on the screen as the initial thing so she can walk through it with you.
Okay.
And then I'm sure she'll be able to provide it afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anything on the budget that you'd want us to know, Margaret?
So the only things that I have are the June 30th, 2020, essentially year-end closeout, the reconciliation forms for the personnel accounts.
Yep.
And the first one is your expense account, and I have gone through and checked it. I sent these, oops, no, it's this one. Just to confirm that the balances are correct. On the personnel committee expenses, you had $4,975 remaining. And the balance, that was because you had gone, I don't know, was this the town administrator search thing? No, it wasn't. It was the HR.
The grant.
Oh,
The HR consultant.
Wait a minute.
wasn't it a
Right, 'cause
consultant?
she gets 4,500 and then the other amount was the 225 for the,
Yeah, but that's the
It-
other, that's the other one. And that balance does look good because we had given her a payment of $4,500, leaving a balance of $9,000. So we have 2 more payments to make for the 13,500. So that one looks good.
okay,
This other one, you had $5,200 that was in your personnel expenses line last year. And I know that it was for some sort of consulting thing.
Wasn't it for the, we had money for something with Tim Wheeler to get something like a.
no,
I can't
that's the money that's going to Sandy, Tom.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I
I
don't know
just
what the 5,200 was.
Well, we can, I wish I had Vadar here. I don't
Yeah,
have it here.
there was a reason why we had it, but I can't remember. I can't remember anything.
But you
I'm
spent
surprised.
$225 for the membership. That was it. So
Right,
you had an
Yeah.
ending balance there of $49.75.
okay.
So she just needs your
Did you
approval
carry
on
that
those
over?
2 things. What are you laughing at?
Because I said, don't forget to carry that over.
Right, yeah. Tom. Okay, so we need to get an approval to June.
Yes, yes. So if you just vote these things, I can just initial on the sheets that you've looked them
All
over.
right. So that shows the expenditure of $225
Yes,
from the $5,200.
correct,
And that means there's 4,975 left in that budget.
correct.
Okay,
And in your other one, you had an initial amount in the HR grant of $8,500. But then we got the additional $5,000.
yep,
We spent $4,500, leaving a balance of $9,000.
And I think Margaret just hit the nail on the head. We got an additional 5,000. I think the original 5,000 that was in our budget was if we could get, you're all right. Tom was saying it. It did have something to do with trying to get an HR company to come in.
Okay. So
That's
you
how
have
it
that
started.
there just in case the grant amount was exceeded. Excellent. Okay.
Pretty sure that's how it started. I know it was taken away a few times and brought back, but
okay. So given that information on the budget and the expenditure of 225 with a balance of 4,975 in that budget, and then the HR consulting budget, it started off as 13,500, went down to 4,500, the first payment to HR consulting, and now there's a balance of 9,000. Is that correct? So
That's
given
correct.
that information, I'd like to make a motion that we approve both of those balances for the month of Is it June 30th, Margaret, or is it July 30th?
June 30th.
Okay. As of June 30th.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Claire
Roll.
Pond.
Sue,
Hi, Tom Bradley.
yeah,
Okay.
Sue Terry.
All right. Good. All right. Well, I think that's all we had tonight. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to bring to the committee?
Not really, unless if agriculture is having outdoor meetings, can we have outdoor meetings?
Mhm. You could. Yes,
Instead
you
of
could.
having Zoom meetings, we can have outdoor meetings.
Yeah, we're giving that a whirl. So Ag Commission's going to meet next week at the community garden. Historical Commission is looking at having an outdoor meeting
Oh,
potentially.
nice.
Yeah. So we just have to be very, very careful with the COVID protocols and ADA compliance and things like that. And
Yeah.
yeah, we're trying to move forward. We're
Yeah.
trying to get back to some semblance of normal.
I know. Well, you guys have been incredible. So with all that, I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn the meeting at 6:48 PM.
Second it.
Okay, all those in favor? Claire?
Aye.
Okay, Tom?
Sue, aye.
Okay.